There is a version of streaming culture that is amazing, creative, entertaining, and community building. At its best, it has brought people together in ways that the internet had never seen before. And then there's this version that I've been seeing lately, the version where people are streaming their crash outs for views, where boundaries don't exist because the audience demands more, where literally anything, and I mean anything, becomes content as long as someone is watching. I will admit I have been sitting on this topic for a while, but today, we're talking about it. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Capable, and welcome to the Girlish Chat series, the safe space where we unpack
the madness of the internet, the trends, the delusions, the
who approved this moment. Because TikTok will have you thinking this is normal, and I'm here to say, is it though? Anyways, girl, let's chat about how streaming culture lost the plot. So here's some context first. Streaming started as something beautiful. Gamers sharing their gameplay, communities forming around shared interest, independent creators finally having a space to build something without needing a TV deal or a record label. Twitch launched in 2011 and at its peak it was home to some of the most creative, community-driven content on the internet. And then the money got involved, then the competition got involved, and then Kick launched as a less regulated alternative, and suddenly, the race to the bottom began. Because when your platform has fewer rules and more money on offer, the content that gets rewarded is not necessarily the most creative content. It is the most extreme content, the most shocking content, the content that makes people stop scrolling and go, wait, did that actually happen? And that is exactly where we are today. So here's what streaming actually looks like today. A significant chunk of what is being produced right now falls into one of two categories, ragebait or public humiliation. Both of them are being consumed at massive scale. Ragebait content is exactly what it sounds like, like content that's specifically designed to make you angry. Streamers saying the most outrageous, offensive, deliberately provocative things they can think of because outrage drives views and it works every single time. Then there's the public humiliation content, filming strangers without consent. I actually did a whole video on that which I've linked in the description below, so make sure to watch it after this one because it connects directly to this conversation. People are going up to random people on the street, putting them in uncomfortable situations, filming their reactions and posting it for laughs, and the audience cheers. In 2025 alone, streaming controversies reached new heights, from streamers telling subscribers to duck on live stream to physical altercations being streamed in real time. And what's alarming isn't just that these things are happening, it is that the platforms are slow to respond. Bans are temporary and the streamers, they just come back to an even bigger audience after the controversy, because in this economy, controversy is currency. And speaking of the economy, because I do think it has a lot to do with it, we're living in a time where traditional career paths feel increasingly inaccessible. Like rent is unaffordable, graduate jobs are competitive, cost of living is crushing an entire generation, and into that reality walks the idea that you could go live on Twitch or Kick tonight and potentially make thousands of dollars. No degree required, no interview, no 9 to 5. So people are trying it, and the ones who are getting the most traction, at least initially, are not always the most talented or the most creative. They're the ones willing to go the furthest, say the most outrageous thing, do the most extreme thing, because the algorithm rewards what gets a reaction. And desperation plus an algorithm that rewards shock value is a combination that produces exactly the content we are seeing. So here's what really concerns me, because the audience for this content is not just adults making informed choices about what they consume. A significant portion of the streaming audience is young boys, teenagers, kids who are still forming their understanding of how to treat people, what is acceptable, what is funny, and what is just cruel. And I think about that a lot because I said it in my podcast bro video, which I've also linked in the description below. There is something genuinely concerning about the way certain types of content are shaping the worldview of young men right now. The rage bait, the public humiliation, the idea that boundaries are jokes and other people's discomfort is entertainment, that doesn't happen in a vacuum. It gets absorbed, it gets normalized, and then it shows up in how people treat each other in real life. So Kai Cenat Streamer University generated a lot of conversation, and if we're being honest, a lot of it wasn't positive. Some of the conversation was about the safety in streaming spaces, and Kai Cenat is really talented, okay? Broken many records, but I feel like certain incidences have highlighted the culture and safety standards normalized by popular creators, which requires a focus on accountability over popularity. Real quick sidebar, I have a free outfit worksheet in the description below that helps you see your wardrobe completely differently and create new looks from what you already own. No shopping required. It's part of my Shop Your Closet fashion guide and it's completely free. So, what do we do with all of this? Because again, I'm not here to tell you to stop watching streams. That's not the point. But it is important to have some level of awareness. Also, just be intentional about what you consume and what you allow to become normal in your mind. Because content that consistently shows you people being humiliated, boundaries being crossed, and cruelty just being rewarded, that just rewires something slowly and quietly. And if you have younger siblings, cousins, or children in your life, just pay attention to what you're streaming. But again, as I usually say, don't do it in like a controlling way. Do it in like a curious way. Because the content that shapes an entire generation does not always announce itself. Sometimes it just quietly becomes the background noise of growing up. And honestly, I think we deserve better background noise. So let me know in the comments. Do you think streamers who get banned and come back to bigger audiences are totally being held accountable at all? And where do you draw the line between entertaining entertainment and content that is just harmful dressed up as entertainment? Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the ending of today's video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a like. It'll really help grow my channel. And also make sure to subscribe for some different types of videos every week because we don't stick to the same videos here. I get bored easily.